I audit my clients' content on literally a weekly basis, whether it's my clients in Next Level Baddie, clients in the membership, and almost always the question that I have when I am looking at someone's content is what you're putting in your content actually what your dream clients are feeling, seeing, experiencing? And I cannot tell you how many times I ask this question and the person tells me, I'm not sure. And this is actually one of the biggest culprits behind why your content might not be converting. Because the truth is, converting content actually starts way before you start to go and write the post. And a lot of the time, I find that people are writing content from a vacuum. You're literally just writing content out of your head. You are guessing that that is actually what your dream clients are going through. And the number one way to create content that really is going to resonate deeply with your dream clients is by actually understanding what are your current clients going through in detail, in like really, really specific detail. And the thing that is really nice about this is you're already working with clients. You're already having these conversations, and all you need to do is just tune in a little more and dig a little deeper in order to uncover the insights that you can actually then infuse into your content. So many of my clients, when they come to me, again, like I said, I'm always asking, is this what your dream clients are currently thinking? Is that what your dream client is doing wrong? What are they attempting? What is actually going on in your current clients' lives in order to that they're trying to solve this problem? And whenever we actually go and dig for the data and actually find the information and then put that in their content, they literally start seeing results almost immediately. So yes, exactly. Fine tune makes sense. Yeah. So this is what I call the mirror method. And this is what I teach all of my clients. And the mirror method is basically when you go out and actually collect information on what your dream clients are currently going through. What are the thoughts that are going on in their head? What are the actual problems that they are experiencing in their life? What are the specific actions that they are doing to try and solve that problem? What are the conclusions that they have about these attempts to solve the problem? What is it that they actually want? And when my clients actually get this information and put it in their content, not only does their content start converting, but creating content actually starts to become a lot easier. Because the biggest reason that I find people are taking, 2 hours to write a carousel, or they're taking 40 minutes to write a caption for an Instagram reel, is because you are trying to figure out what to actually put in that piece of content, because you're not actually sure what you need to say in that piece of content based on what your dream client is going through. So in this live, I want to walk you through 3 really simple ways that I teach my clients to get these golden insights that they can then put into their content in order to not only have it resonate with their dream clients, but also attract the right clients and actually convert those clients. Because the goal for your content is to mirror what your dream clients are actually experiencing. Think about when you see a piece of content that really, really like slaps for you. It's because it's really true for you, right? It feels like someone is in your head. It feels like someone is observing you and you're like, how do I know? How do you know that that's what I'm going through? So even drop an emoji in the chat if you've ever read a piece of content and you're like, oh my gosh, this content was created for me. This is exactly what I'm going through. And it's almost creepy how accurate it is, right? So drop an emoji in the chat if you've ever experienced that, because that is really, really good content. And in order to actually do that, you need to start conversations with your dream clients, or you need to actually go deeper on the conversations that you're having with your clients. So before I dive into these 3 things, I just want to let you know that this is literally the focus inside the Baddie Money Method membership. In all of July, I'm going to be dropping trainings. I'm going to be dropping, feedback for you on how to actually not only start these conversations, but deepen these conversations that you're already having with your dream clients to get the insights that you need to actually create content that resonates. And so drop drop a DM, drop a comment in the chat, just say July if you want me to send you the link to join the membership for July. It's going to be absolutely freaking epic. So, okay, let's get into the 3 things. So, number 1, this is really simple. This is one of the core things that I teach in my membership inside Next Level Baddie. Pretty much like anyone who joins my world, they have to start doing this one thing, which is sending welcome messages to dream clients who follow you on various platforms. So the thing that I want you to understand about people who are following you on social media, so one of the big things that I hear from a lot of people is, my dream clients are following me, but I'm not talking to them. I don't really know what to say to them. I don't want to be creepy. I know that they're following me, but I'm pretty much just kind of like ignoring them. I'm almost just like frozen, right? And this is such a big lost opportunity, you guys, because when someone follows you, they have taken an action towards you, right? They've actually taken an action towards your profile and your account. And so what you can then do is basically return that action towards them by welcoming them into your community. So you send a very simple welcome message. And I have an entire training on this inside the membership. And I teach you exactly what types of, what the 4 elements are that you need to include in a welcome message. I give you examples of welcome messages. I show you how to actually iterate on those welcome messages. And so every single person in my world, hey Natalie, every single person in my world is sending these welcome messages to their new dream client followers. And what this does is it opens a loop. It opens a loop of a conversation, because again, someone is following you, they're taking an action towards you, and then you, because they've now taken an action towards you, that's sort of like an invitation of engagement. You are now basically engaging back with them, because I know that something that freaks a lot of people out is you don't want to make the first move towards your dream clients. You don't want to cold pitch, you don't want to be creepy, but the thing is they followed you. So I want you to take advantage of the fact that they have taken an action towards you and welcome them into your community, because I cannot describe to you how many people do not welcome people into their community when they follow them, especially people who have really big audiences or people who just don't have, are not creating the time for that. So if you actually send a welcome message to people who followed you, they're gonna feel really special. And they're gonna actually be more open to having a conversation with you, right? And this is the very first loop where you can open a conversation, you can ask a question. That's one of the things that I tell everyone to do inside a welcome message is you have to include a question. And that's how you start a conversation. And not everyone is necessarily gonna reply to this welcome message, but when they do reply, you actually get to start a conversation and you get to ask pointed questions about their business, their life, whatever area it is that you support them with inside your business. And you get to now gather some insights that are gonna help you to create content. And the best part about this is you can literally directly create content that speaks to what they're currently going through. So imagine you follow someone, they welcome you into the community. Because you've now had that DM exchange, you're more likely to see each other's content in the feed. And then the next day they see a piece of content that is custom crafted towards them. What do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna be super engaged, right? They're gonna be like, this is so relevant for me. They're gonna engage with that content. They're going to pay more attention to you. And this is the very beginning of treating your content as a two-way conversation, right? So they are speaking to you and you are speaking back to them, not only in the DMs, but also through your content. So the first step is sending your welcome message. The second thing that I want you to do in order to basically 10x the conversations with your dream clients so that you actually can create content that really speaks directly to what they're going through is you're literally talking to your dream clients every single day. You are probably messaging your dream clients inside Slack, Telegram, email, whatever it is. You're jumping on calls with your clients. They're probably filling out some kind of surveys. Like there's so much opportunity where you are talking to your clients, even when you're onboarding the client. And one of the biggest missed opportunities that I see with people is you are not having deep conversations with your dream clients. You're kind of keeping things very surface level. And I see this a lot with service providers when you feel like you are just providing a service for them and there's so much opportunity to still build a relationship with them, right? So I want you to really get into the habit of actually double clicking on things that they say inside of a conversation. Let's say they're talking about some kind of problem that they're facing, right? Instead of just collecting surface level information about what they're going through, I want you to dig deeper. I want you to, if they say like, oh, I tried this thing and it's not working, I want you to go deeper and ask, how exactly did you do that? Or what made you want to do that specific thing? What is something that, what was the conclusion that you had as a result of trying that thing that didn't work? Or what are you currently seeing, right? This is a really big one. When they tell you, oh, it's not working or I'm having this problem, what are you currently seeing? So I'll give you a really tangible example. So I was on a call ages ago with one of my clients and she was telling me, I'm really frustrated. People aren't buying from me. I know there's dream clients around me, but they're not buying from me. So I literally said to her, I was like, what are you exactly seeing right now? And she said, they're engaging, my dream clients are engaging with my content, but then I'm seeing that literally a week later, instead of hiring me, they are just DIYing the very thing that I told them to do and that I was talking about in my content. This is so much more specific than people aren't buying from me. You can see this is like a very, very tangible scenario that they're going through, which is my dream clients are literally liking and commenting on my content and saying, oh my gosh, this is so helpful. And let's say in that post, they're actually trying to sell their offer. And so maybe that person is probably thinking like, oh my gosh, like my dream clients are engaging with my content. They're probably going to hire me. And then a week later, they see them, let's say, my client's a podcast manager. Literally, they're talking about, here's how to start your podcast. I can help you start your podcast. Here's my package. And then literally 2 weeks later, they see the person starting their own podcast, DIY. It looks terrible. It sounds terrible. They know it's not going to be a very good podcast. Instead of hiring them, they have now gone on and created a really bad podcast on their own. This is so specific. And what I then did is I created content about, hey, do you feel like your dream clients are engaging with your content, but then they are going out and DIYing the very thing that you're saying that you can help them with? So much more specific than just your clients aren't, like dream clients aren't buying your offers, right? You're getting engagement, but no sales. So I want you to really dig deeper into these conversations and ask, what are you actually experiencing? What is the current reality that you are living through? What are these tangible, almost like movie scenes that you're going through that are showing you that it's not working how you want it to, right? So again, number 2 is deepening the conversations and digging deeper with your dream clients when they are expressing to you things that the problems that they're experiencing and challenges that they're having. The third thing that I want you to do is when you are having conversations with, dream clients in the DMs, I want you to, a lot of the time, especially with Instagram stories, I find that we are having very casual conversations, right? So let's say, for example, I don't know, you're following a client on Instagram and maybe they they posted on their stories about their dog or something, right? Or let's say they're at a gym or something, right? And you are going to respond to that Instagram story and be like, oh, what's the workout that you're doing? Or what kind of dog is that? Or, something related to that. They're going to respond to your question, which is obviously a friendly question. And once they do that, what I want you to do is I want you to flip the conversation around the topic that is related to your business, right? So let's say, for example, they posted about the gym. You're like, hey, what's that workout? Looks really cool. They're like, oh, it's CrossFit. I'm trying it out. Oh, that's so awesome. I've never tried CrossFit. I want you to segue the conversation into, hey, I know last time we were chatting about X. How's that going for you? I want you to bring the conversation back to the topic that you want to focus on that's related to your offer, right? I find that a lot of the time people are wasting time in the DMs having friendly chit chat, cutesy conversations, and you don't want to be salesy, so you don't want to, go into the realm of talking about anything that's related to your offer in case you scare people off. But the truth is, people are not going to get scared off that easily, especially if you're not just pitching your offers in the DMs. Because when you are working in your business and they know that that's the thing that you work with, it's going to be really normal for you to start a conversation like that. I do this all the time, especially on Instagram, is we'll have a friendly conversation and then I'll bring it back to the topic that is related to the thing that I know I can help them with, right? And the thing that becomes really easy with this is When you are doing this repeatedly with people where you're nurturing them over a period of time, you can almost like break up the conversation into multiple segments, right? So let's say, for example, again, they posted something about the gym, you ask about the gym, they reply, and you ask like, oh, hey, actually, like I meant to ask you question. And they give you a little bit of information, right? You can then maybe carry on the conversation a bit, but again, we don't want to be 21 questions. We don't want to literally just be like asking them a million questions over and over again. That's creepy, that's salesy, it's weird. They're not going to want to just like answer your interrogation. And so you can take a pause and then wait for the next engagement point. Wait for the next time that maybe they're posting on their Instagram story something that's related to the thing that you can help them with, right? Let's say, for example, that I'm like I'm like a period coach. Let's just say I'm like a period coach. And let's say, they posted about the gym. We had a little conversation about the gym. And then I pointed it back to kind of like, period stuff or whatever. Like, I don't know, maybe that's like a little bit weird. But let's say then that, the next time they're on their Instagram stories, they're talking about something related to their hormones. And they're just like, oh, like having some, I don't know, I'm not a period coach, so I don't know what the like hormones best practices are. But let's say they're just like, oh, I'm in my luteal phase. So I'm, drinking a lot of cucumber juice. And this is going to really like regulate my hormones. Like I'll keep you guys posted. Now you can use that as an entry point to talk about the very thing that you help people with, right? And be like, oh my gosh, like, so great that you're drinking cucumber juice. Like that really is great for your luteal phase. How long have you been doing that? Or, how did you decide, like, how did you pick cucumber juice or something like that, right? And they might say like, oh, actually, like I watched this TV show where, this documentary or whatever, and it said, cucumber juice and it's this thing, and this girl was saying how it changed her life, and that's why I'm drinking cucumber juice, right? That's a really good detail that we can now use as a golden nugget to infuse into your content. So let's say you're creating a piece of content. Usually what we want to do in our content is we want to give context to what our dream clients are doing. And we want to, again, mirror back their experience in the content, right? So let's say, for example, like I'm totally just making this up, but let's say in order to balance your hormones, you have to drink cucumber juice, but you also have to like, drink a lot of water with it or something, right? And so let's say we're creating a piece of content. We're saying like, hey, just drinking cucumber juice is actually not enough. Or like the reason that you're snapping at your partner before your period, even though you're drinking your cucumber juice, is this reason, right? And then we might set the scene in the piece of content and say, hey, I know that you watched X documentary and it told you to drink the cucumber juice. And so you bought the cucumber juice. You've been drinking it religiously. You've been talking to everyone about how you're drinking your cucumber juice, but you're still experiencing that you're having a lot of PMS. You're snapping at your partner before your period. Here's what's actually missing. You need to drink 2 liters of water straight after the cucumber juice. I don't know, I'm making this up. But the thing that I'm trying to explain to you here is they're going to pay very close attention to your advice around drinking the 2 liters of water because you have accurately mirrored back to them the fact of how they came to the conclusion that they need to drink the cucumber juice. And when you're able to really accurately mirror back to your client what are the steps that they are currently taking specifically to try to solve their problem, they're going to be way more likely to trust your solution because they know that you understand their exact situation, right? Like you would never take advice from someone who was, incorrectly playing back what you're doing. Let's say, for example, that I wrote a post and I was like, oh, like you are, you're avoiding all carbs. You're avoiding all carbs in order to, I don't know, like fix your PMS and, here's what's missing. If you're speaking to the person who actually is the person who is drinking the cucumber juice because of the documentary, that post, even if you tell them, hey, you need to drink 2 liters of water, they're not going to trust you because you're not speaking to their exact current situation, right? It's a really weird example with cucumber juice and carbs. But drop a yes in the chat if this is landing for you. So the more accurately that you can play back in your content what your dream client is going through, what they're thinking, what they're seeing, what they're experiencing, what their conclusions are about what they're trying to do to solve their problem, the more likely they're actually going to trust your solution, right? And that's when they're actually going to be more likely to buy. And this is what I call the mirror method. And in order to actually implement the mirror method, what I do with my clients is I get them to start conversations with their dream clients. And these are just 3 of the ways that we do them. There's literally a million ways that you can gather this information. And the key here is creating converting content starts way before you actually go to write the post. This is where I find a lot of people get stuck, is they are writing content from a vacuum. They actually don't know what their dream clients are going through. That's why it's taking longer to create content. That's why you're not sure what to actually put into your content. That's why it's taking like an hour and a half to write a carousel, because you're like, I know that I need to say what they're trying to do, but I'm guessing, like, I think this is what they're going through. I think this is what they're doing wrong. And because you think and you don't know for sure, you're not mirroring back the reality, and that's why they're swiping along, not reading your carousels, and you're getting low engagement, and you're not getting any conversions. So Natalie's saying big yes, but now I'm thinking how to manage customization, personalization, and volume. Tell me a little more about what you mean by that. Now I'm thinking about how to manage customization and personalization. I don't know if this is what you mean, but one of the things that gets a lot of, hey, Milena, Baddie Mill is in the house. She is new in our Baddie Money Method membership. Like I said, we're doing an exciting July challenge, and she's going to be in it. I'm so freaking excited. So Natalie, if what you mean is, a common question that I get from my clients is, what if I'm being too specific in terms of personalizing the situation? So let's say, for example, with the cucumber juice example, Milena's probably like, what the hell is the cucumber juice example? So with, let's say, for example, you are playing back something that your dream client is going through, and it's like really specific. So we were using the period coach example where someone watched a documentary and they heard that apparently you have to drink cucumber juice in order to like balance your hormones. Let's say there's a different documentary that talks about like, you have to, hey, 9 to 5 travel chicks in the house. We're using really weird examples like period coaches and cucumber juice and 2 liters of water. So bear with me, I'm getting creative here. But let's say, for example, that again, I'm a period coach. I'm trying to get my clients to buy my course about like helping balance your hormones so that you don't have a lot of, cramps or like PMS during your period. And there's someone who watched a documentary that says, drink cucumber juice in order to balance your hormones, right? Maybe there's so many methods to balance your hormones, right? Maybe someone is saying, hey, like you need to cut out salt. You need to, maybe eat like non-dairy ice cream or something like that, right? The thing with these details is it doesn't always matter whether they are gonna match every single person on earth. Because the thing is, 2 things are gonna happen. Number 1 is when you are creating a lot of specific content, you're going to inevitably pull the people who that specific content applies to, right? And some people might not actually respond to that, but that's why we create multiple pieces of content, right? So let's say, for example, you have 3 different scenarios. You have 3 different clients who tell you 3 different specific things that they are experiencing to try and solve their problem. What you can do is you can create 3 pieces of content that individually speak to those specific scenarios, right? And each piece of content is gonna pull in that specific person. The other thing that's gonna happen is even when you're really specific, people are smart and they're gonna fill in their own context. I'll give you a really tangible example. There was a piece of content that I saw a while back. This was like a few years ago. It was about like entrepreneurship, and they were saying, if you need to take 3 ice baths in the morning or like during the day in order to run your business, then this is the deeper thing that's going on, right? And at the time, I was an entrepreneur. I was trying to start a business. I was like really, really stressed. But the thing is, I wasn't taking 3 ice baths a day. I was taking 3 hot baths a day, right? But I read that piece of content and it really resonated because I was like, I filled in the blanks for myself, right? I was like, okay, like ice baths? No, like I don't do ice baths. That's freaking like way too scary for me. But I was like, I do hot baths though. And the concept is the same because we are doing an activity that we are trying to use to relax ourselves, right? Ice bath, hot bath, whatever. preference, right? Even though the post talked about the 3 ice baths, I still really resonated with that post, and I paid very close attention to that coach because I was like, oh my God, like, it's like you can see me in my home. That's creepy, right? Even though that little detail was a little off, I was still able to really substitute it for my current experience, right? And this is what's going to happen a lot, because the thing is, when you have really specific content, it's just like hookier. People just get hooked on it more, because when you talk about a specific detail, so think about storytelling, right? Think about when someone's telling a story, when they include a really, really small detail, like when you're reading a book, let's say they're talking about, like, I don't know, a fairy, and she's like, you know, carrying a key, and they're saying, like, you know, this key was this like bronze color with this flower embroidery on it, and when you dropped it on the floor, it made this really specific cling sound, right? You're going to be so immersed in the story, right? And it's going to really like stick in your head, and you're going to want to keep reading. The same thing happens with content, and you need to include these specific things. And it honestly sometimes doesn't even matter if it's like the exact things that's going to apply to every single dream client who's going to read that post, because it's going to hook them in, and they're going to be like, wait, actually, like, that's so specific. Their brain is going to magnify that, and then they're going to just like substitute it for their experience. And they're going to read that piece of content. It's going to resonate with them. They're going to say, oh my gosh, this person really understands what I'm going through. They're going to make that little substitute, and then they're going to be more likely to buy, right? So drop a yes in the chat if this is landing for you, because this is literally the key component of converting content. But the thing is, in order for you to actually, sorry, I'm recovering from a very terrible flu and a cough. But the key step before you actually implement the mirror method is you need to actually have the information from your dream clients. And this is where I feel like most people are missing out is, again, you're not actually having direct conversations with your dream clients. So when it goes to creating the specific content, you're completely guessing. So maybe you're even trying to be specific, but you're actually hitting the wrong angle, right? It's not their current experience. And this is generally part of content, right? Like, we're not always going to get it right. Sometimes we have to fill in the blanks, right? Sometimes I don't have the exact information because maybe I'm waiting to talk to my client, right? This is where iteration comes in. But what makes it a lot easier to create converting content, again, faster and smoother, is when you actually have that information. And the biggest reason that I find people overthink content and it takes really long and they feel like they don't know what to post and they get into this whole freaking thing is because you're actually not having a constant inflow of dream client conversations. Literally every single week, I'm talking to my dream clients in the DMs, in Slack, on calls, like I'm reading, you know, like things that they're submitting to me. I'm constantly immersed. I have a constant flow of dream client words that are hitting my brain. And so when I go to create content, I just have to literally think about like what's the last conversation that I had with my client? Great. Now I just want to put that in a piece of content, right? The reason that content feels hard is because you're not deeply immersed in your dream client's world. And this is literally the key to making content that literally gets people to want to buy from you, because you are very accurately playing back their current reality. And so this is exactly what I'm focusing on inside July, inside the Baddie Money Method membership, is 10xing your conversations with your dream clients. So literally all month long, I'm going to be dropping trainings. I'm going to be dropping little audio riffs. I'm going to be giving you feedback. I'm going to basically tell you exactly how to gather that information and then how to infuse it into content to make it convert faster. Okay, 9 to 5 travel chick. How? A lot of discovery calls, market research calls, content and ask questions. So I love this question. Discovery calls are definitely part of it, 100%. I don't believe in market research calls. I don't believe in market research calls because if you've heard of the thing called the observer effect, when people know that they're being observed and questioned, they naturally are not able to be as honest, and they're going to be almost like on show, like they feel like they're like performing, and people are not going to be able to give you the most genuine and accurate information. This is why the method that I teach inside my membership, inside Next Level Baddie, inside all my programs with my clients is ongoing, very seamless gathering of information. I actually call this feedback loops. And this is where you are simply just hooking into the conversations that are already happening with your dream clients. You're hooking into the actions that they're already taking towards you. So at the beginning of this live, I'd recommend rewatching this live. I share with you 3 ways that you do this. The first one, for example, is sending welcome messages to your dream clients who have followed you on a social media platform. And basically just starting a conversation with them and asking them very strategic questions to uncover what they're currently going through. This is literally so much better than a market research call because, again, people are not on presentation where they feel like now they have to, basically put together a formulated response, which is where you lose the authenticity, you lose the natural, genuine things that are going on in their world. And the other issue that I have with market research calls and market research surveys is that you're doing it like you're doing it every quarter, you're doing it every 6 months. But what if you actually had an ongoing flow of information? You don't have to send a quarterly survey. You don't have to jump on a market research call. You don't have to go into a Facebook group and be like, hey guys, I'm looking for XYZ. Would you jump on a call with me? I'll give you a Starbucks gift card. You don't have to do creepy stuff like that. You just have to hook into the conversations that are already happening literally under your nose. And that's exactly what we're focusing on inside the membership. Inside July, it's the 10X Dream Client Conversations Challenge. Drop the word July in the chat if you want the link to join the membership. It's $97 a month. All July long, we're going to be focusing on this. I'm going to be showing you exactly how to start these conversations. I'm going to give you feedback. I'm going to be showing you how to actually turn those conversations into content that is literally fire, converting content specifically for your dream clients to the point where they're going to think that you have actually installed a freaking camera in their home because you're that accurate in their content. It's going to be absolutely incredible. So drop a comment July in the chat or DM me after July if you want to join the challenge. It's going to be absolutely killer. But that is what I have for you today. And this is honestly the number 1 strategy that I've used to scale my business using organic content. It's called the mirror method. I don't see anyone teaching this. I find that a lot of people are talking about create specific content, make sure that your content speaks to your dream client and all this stuff. But no one is actually teaching you the step that comes before it, which is how to actually gather that information in a seamless way. How to actually have that information hitting your brain and hitting your business on a regular basis in a super authentic way. And the last thing I'll leave you with, the thing that is absolutely insane about this strategy is while you're doing that, you are literally building community. You are building connections with your audience. You are you're nurturing your dream clients in the DMs while you're doing research. So instead of being like, hey, can I interview you for 30 minutes and give you a Starbucks gift card that pretty much makes people want to run for their lives? Imagine just having really easy conversations and you're literally gathering information from them and you're nurturing them at the same time. Hey, Gerline, so excited to see you here. We're just almost wrapping up, but the key here really is the step that comes before creating converted content, way before you actually even go to think of content ideas, is having these conversations with your dream clients in a seamless way so that you can gather literally golden nuggets that you just embed into your content. And content gets to be fun too in this way because you get all these really juicy ideas. You guys, our dream clients are the best creators of our content because they're going to be able to say things in ways that we never would have thought of. It's hilarious. Sometimes I'll be literally talking with my dream clients and they'll say something and I'm like, oh my gosh, that would make a really good hook. And the reason it makes a good hook is because I'm not putting them on the stand where I'm like, hey, can I interview you for 30 minutes and give you a Starbucks gift card? That kills creativity. People don't come up with natural phrases that they use in their natural life that make incredible hooks because they sound natural on a market research call. That just doesn't happen. And so, okay, I'm going to drop off. But again, so excited because July, all of July in the Batty Money Method membership, we are going to be 10Xing your dream client conversations. It's going to be absolutely epic. I'm going to show you exactly how to infuse those nuggets into your content. It's going to be absolutely incredible. So DM me July if you want to get in. And make sure to keep an eye on my page because I'm going to be going live a lot here. I finally made it to Valencia, Spain. I finally recovered from my freaking flu for like 2 weeks. I'm going to be going live a lot, sharing a lot of juice with you guys. So super excited. And I'll see you in the Baddie Money Method membership. Remember, DM July. I'll get you inside. $97 a month. It's going to be absolutely killer. Okay. Have a great day, guys. Make sure to rewatch this live. I share 3 really tangible ways that you can start conversations with your dream clients. It's 3 of like the million ways that I teach inside of my world. I want you guys to have these natural conversations, create incredible content. All right. Let me know what you loved about the live, and I'll see you soon. Okay. Love you all.